All right, happy Monday, everybody. It's Raiderland Helmet Sticker Day. We got a lot of stuff to get to, Texas Tech basketball and more. There's always more right here in Raiderland. What do we want you to do today? We want the early arrivals. Let us know the audio is good, the video is good. It's easy to do. Give us thumbs up, hearts, whatever it is, wherever you're watching. That's all you got to do. And then we're off and running. So it's pretty simple on that front. Now, if you're getting on the Twitter feed and on the YouTube feed, all you got to do is use the United Supermarkets text line to get in your comments. 806-772-0197. It's right there on the screen for you. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter, you got it right there. That's how you get in. On Facebook, it's easy, normal conversation. Just type in your comments, everything else. We're off and running. We got basketball. We got the Pop Isaacs situation we're going to look at tonight. And I'm going to have a discussion. By that, I mean I'm going to talk, and you'll listen, and then you'll be able to comment on a little bit of that. And we've also got helmet stickers. Who deserves a little recognition today, right? Who deserves a little shout out for being awesome over the last 7 days, over the weekend? Who's that going to be? Sports, non-sports, doesn't really matter. Could be anyone. The weather gets my helmet sticker, not for around here in West Texas. No, it's here tonight for New England. The Bill Belichick era had to end that way. Hi, I'm here for the sports information. Yes. Have you heard about the new basketball coach? So all that stuff going on tonight. Hope you'll join us. Again, use the United Supermarkets text line, 806-772-0197. Just like the radio show, you text in, we'll be able to see your comments. The algorithm has been showing me survival videos in the Yukon. Must have snow coming soon. We had like weird snow in town in Lubbock earlier today, for 2.5 minutes, less than your average George Strait hit song. And then it was gone. But I mean, for 2.5 minutes, it was the most amazing thing. And then we're done with that. All right, let's make it happen. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texas, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. You start your day there. Raiderland Hot Links. I want you guys to really take off on that in 2024. We find stuff every day we like. We post it there. I want you to do the same thing. We'll grow it as a community and give a lot more folks a reason to go, hey, there's cool stuff going on here. You also have your question of the day at theraiderland.com. Everything we do, we archive there. You won't miss anything if you go to theraiderland.com every morning. And we archive this show and everything else. Brought to you tonight by Boot City, one money-saving mile outside the West Loop on 19th Street. Maybe Santa Claus didn't bring everything you wanted. Maybe, just maybe, you got some shirts and you're like, I'm not going to wear that shirt. Well, you go to Boot City. You take that money your aunt gave you and you go get the stuff you want. They've got a tremendous selection waiting for you right now. Also brought to you by Premier Sportsplex in Lubbock. 5 locations. The game is on. And if you have an office, maybe you run a business, and everybody came back fat from New Year's. I said it, they came back fat. And everybody wants to get in shape because nobody wants to be fat. Premier Sportsplex. Great situation for your office. Trust me on that. The government's topsoil relocation program in full effect today. Yeah, for those who don't know, wind gust up towards 60 miles an hour, 58 in Brownfield, 51 earlier today, just outside of Ropesville, Texas, USA. Some pretty amazing straight line winds. Texter on the United Supermarkets text line, will the snow be in Amarillo by morning? It was in Amarillo yesterday. It's in Amarillo, I think, today. We'll see if it's there tonight. Where shall we begin? I don't know. What do you think, Joe? Yeah, I agree. I don't even know how to spell that, but I agree. All right, so let's talk about Pop Isaacs and Texas Tech basketball, shall we? We shall. And this is the portion of the program where I'm going to say a few things. You're going to sit back and listen and watch, and then we'll have a discussion of what I have to say. Now, if you saw and heard our commentary, 60 seconds of Raiderland, sometimes a little bit longer, you already know what I'm going to say. 100% Texas Tech basketball player Pop Isaacs should be playing right now. given what we know and what we don't know, and even more documents being released today in the civil suit being filed against Pop Isaacs for alleged sexual assault during the Raiders' trip to the Bahamas, the battle for the Atlantis. Based on what we've seen, based on what we know, there's zero reason for me to believe that he should be held out from Texas Tech basketball. Just that simple. There are a lot of, I hate to use the term red flags, but I'm going to use the term red flags on this right now. One, that Texas Tech officials were not notified until, I believe, December 14th that any alleged improprieties had occurred. Now, if it's my daughter and if I'm there, it's going down the next day. Okay, we can understand maybe a reticence to come forward with anything. We get that. Now, if there was any criminal liability and you really wanted to do something, the Bahamas is the place to do it. I'm not talking about from a perpetrator standpoint. I'm talking about from the standpoint of reporting a crime, because they hate crime down there. It's bad for business. But apparently, allegedly, there was no physical documentation of evidence of wrongdoing or anything else. So we get to where we are and what we've seen. I'm not going to go through the whole recitation. You've seen it. You've read it online. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're just going to have to go back and read it and everything else. And we can have the discussion, my points on this. So we get to the point where a few weeks later, allegedly, complaints are filed. Texas Tech, McCaslin coach, made aware, goes to Kirby Hocutt. Boom, immediately. That's what you do. You go to your boss. Kirby goes to his boss. Well, who's his boss? Well, it's Dr. Lawrence Skuvenek. It's the university. And they, for whatever reason, well, we know why, they refer it to the Title IX Commission at Texas Tech. Now, you see, in Title IX in 1976 and 1975, it was created to give young girls the same opportunity to play sports at federally funded high schools and colleges as boys. But over the years, Title IX has morphed into this odd pseudo court on college campuses where they can just go after anybody they want to. You know, in my opinion, how powerful is the court of public opinion? Sometimes powerful, sometimes not. It won't affect anything, though, in my opinion. Answering Jared right there, who's asking on Facebook, the court of public opinion. I think they're reading this. I think they're reading it the same way I am. So we get to where we are. Tech goes to the Title IX office on the campus. And I think the Title IX office said, man, we got no standing here. What do we mean by that? I mean, we got nothing to do with this. It happens off campus. It doesn't involve, it involves a Tech student, but no other Tech students. It's a civil complaint that's being lodged. Why do we do a civil complaint? Well, that tells me that you don't have a criminal complaint. Because if you had a criminal complaint, you come full bore with a criminal complaint. You would. If it were me, if it were my daughter, I'm just thinking out loud here, that's where I'd come from. And I'd come from it within 24 to 48 hours. But again, the timeline probably doesn't matter. We are not aware of a police report filed in the Bahamas. No, we are not. And again, if there were, they hate that down there. They go after you. So we get where we are today, and we've got a couple of different tracks working on this. So Texas Tech, trust me, if the Title IX office and anybody else on Texas Tech thought they could go after Pop Isaacs, they would. They live for that. That's their sole existence. That's why they are there. 100%. That they say no, again, tells me Tech has no standing. And for those who don't know what I mean when standing, means they don't have the ability to come back and exercise any recrimination. Now, I'm going to call a timeout real quick for those who are watching. and say, well, what do you mean? You know, there's something bad happens and you can't do anything. Sure, you can. 1% you can. And this is a doctrine I have espoused over 30 years, almost 40 years now doing what I do, that I'm going to go back to the days of Pete Cawthon at Texas Tech. And he had a rule, and it's called you broke your plate. What does that mean? Broke your plate. Back in the day, you got to eat at the athletic dining hall if you were on scholarship. But if you got kicked off, if you did anything wrong, if you did anything you didn't like, boom, broke your plate, you're gone. Well, what was that for? Anything I didn't like. Any coach, anywhere, any college program still has the ability for now to come back and say, well, you made us look bad. You broke team rules. You violated team rules. I can kick you off. They can still do that for now. Again, that hasn't happened tells me that there's no there right now. Beyond the awkward look of what we're finding out, which we can get to as we go through. And we'll get to your comments. We'll get to your stuff here in just a second. I'm going to roll through a bunch of stuff, and then we're going to get there. Some nights I talk for a while. Some nights you talk for a while. Tonight, I'm going to talk for a while. We're going to get there. So stay with it, all right? It's not hard to do. So, yeah, you could just kick somebody off just because, hey, I've got a team rule that says you made me look bad. You got your name in the paper. You got your name on TV, and it reflects poorly on the program. You're gone. It's going to be harder to do now and in coming years because of the quasi relationship of employer-employee. NFL teams, NBA teams, you can't kick anybody off just because you want to. You have a union grievance file. And I don't know if any of you have ever worked somewhere that's a union shop. Have you ever tried to get somebody fired at your office that involves a union or even a quasi-union? Even in the state of Texas, let's just say like a school, and try to get rid of a teacher. All right, that's how hard it is. That's where we're going in college athletics, that it's not going to be as simple as a coach is saying, hey, yeah, I don't like you. You made me bad. I'm kicking you off. We're quickly getting to the idea of leveraged collectively bargained agreements and the athlete as a, what do you seek in a civil filing? What does one seek? And I am just saying this, not that this is the case necessarily with the Pop Isaacs deal. I'm speaking in general here as we go through. What do you look for in civil? You look for a judgment, a settlement. Danny is the smartest man in the class today. Here's Danny. What do college basketball players have now today that they didn't have 4, 5, 6 years ago, 20 years ago? They have money. We just saw former Red Raider Terrence Shannon Jr. have to turn himself in Lawrence, Kansas on an alleged sexual assault charge. He's one of the highest rated draft picks going out there right now. He's making upwards of $1 million, as far as we can tell, playing in Illinois. A player like Pop Isaacs, I think it's safe to say probably easily north of $250,000 a year. I wouldn't be shocked if we're talking right around $500,000 in NIL money. These players now are going to have to become very, very aware. Very, very aware. Danny, I would say that female in question probably already knew. I'm just going to say that. You're going to see more and more of this. You're going to see more and more of this. That it's the civil that they'll go after. Again, not saying this is necessarily the case involving Pop Isaacs. I'm giving you backdrop. I'm giving you the full fabric of what we're seeing right now, because I don't think people understand completely what's going on in college athletics and otherwise. But we bring it full circle back to, and again, I'll get to all your comments, questions, and everything. I'm talking right now. We're going to turn you loose, and you guys who've been making statements, comments, and questions, get ready to come back with them again, because, I can't say everything. So we come back to it. One, Tech has no standing. 2, Title IX courts should be abolished on campuses. I believe they're unconstitutional. They have no standing, in my opinion. It's either criminal, it's not criminal. It either needs to be in a real court or not a real court. But the Title IX courts need to go away 100%. Absolutely forget about it. And then we come back to the idea of what we're seeing right now with this civil suit again. And to me, it's a tenuous argument to make. And I think really one of the things we need to know is who provided the alcohol, a tech booster. Who was the tech booster? The stuff that comes out today. Hey, breaking news. College guy has sex with girl, brags about it. Yeah, we're all in jail. So there's nothing to this point that I have seen that tells me that Texas Tech should sit down Pop Isaacs, based on anything I've seen, that you will have to, I think, going forward as college sports fans, realize that these cases are going to play out more and more like in the NFL and the NBA, that it will be played out through. Right now, Texas Tech is working like it's a quasi-collective bargaining agreement with how they're handling this through the Title IX, through the civil versus criminal and anything else. That you're just going to have to accept that as fans going forward more and more. But to this point, I haven't seen anything that warrants Texas Tech sitting Pop Isaacs down. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with saying that right now. Is it a wonderful, just awesome story? Great? No, it's not. Is it something that happens probably more than you want to know about on college campuses? Take out the basketball player, female, age, non-age, 16, 17, parents buying alcohol, parents not buying alcohol, party, guy, chick, brag about it. Maybe more than some of your delicate sensibilities want to know about? Probably so. But is it enough to, I think, sit down Pop Isaacs? No, I do not believe it is. All right, the comments are open now. Everything that has been typed in up to now, I'm not going to go back and read. You're going to have to refile it. Refile your briefs with the court. You're going to have to state your case again. You're going to have to go, and we can talk about helmet stickers. Who deserves some great recognition for being awesome? I don't want this to be negative tonight, but I felt like it took more than a 2-minute commentary to get through a lot of the stuff we wanted to do. We can also talk about just the fact that Texas Tech men's basketball, with that win, is farther ahead than any Tech team in the last 4 or 5 years as far as NCAA tournament bound right now. HoopsHD.com, 10 seed right now, 47-23 up. All of that. Danny, the court doesn't need to see my briefs. I don't know if they do or not. Helmet sticker for Ian having to work outdoors today. God love them. Helmet sticker Warren Washington got after it. That's the guy you can win Big 12 games with that you saw. Helmet sticker, Lady Raiders beating Kansas 2-1. First time in 7 years, 2-1 in Big 12 play. A helmet sticker, Texas Tech men for not jacking up too many three-pointers during that game. Yeah, we got that. Helmet sticker to the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans, baby. Who's better, Texans or Cowboys? Texans played the Cowboys. Who you take? All right, so there you go. My thoughts, your thoughts. If you think I'm totally daft and wrong, you can say, hey, Hyatt, you're wrong on this, that. I mean, I disagree with people every day. People disagree with me. That's fine. Helmet stickers with the stalker in the Stanley section at Target. Okay, so I'm vaguely aware that they've got the Stanley deals that are like pink and stuff and that people want them and everything. I don't get it, you know. How much do schools control where players go on trips like Bahamas? You get downtime, you get free time. This seems to have allegedly occurred at the hotel where they were staying. So you're staying at a hotel that's got a casino, and you're there, and it seems to me that that's where they were. Now, how much do they control? You get downtime, you get free time. That's the whole point of going to these places, that players get a chance to go out and have a little fun and, go places. Stanley tumblers are the new pet rock. I don't get it. I know they had the pink ones that were like apparently cool, but all you really need is the Raiderland tumbler. This is the one you need. And if we had like 25 or 50 people willing to say they'd buy one, I could get a production run made and we'd get you guys one. Get James Gaines song. Seems to me. New Cabbage Patch Kids. That sounds horrible. Helmet sticker to all the cheer squads. Somebody said cheer squads. Hold on, I got to back that up. Cheer squads from the area, their results from the state championship. Yay, Ropes, number 2 in state. Way to go, Ropes Eagles. How much for a Raiderland tumble or tumbler? That's a Raiderland tumble. What the hell are you into, you creaky freak? Run into that. I don't know. I'd have to run it by the guy who made them and find out what the minimum run would be. Washington, Michigan football players have not been partying at all. No, not at all. A little bit, but not much. I got Michigan tonight. We'll see what happens. Really, I just incredibly don't care about this game tonight. I really, really don't. Up to $1, up to dollars for the tumbler. Up $2. That's what I'm looking for. All right, I'll find out. I think the minimum run would probably be about 50. So if we could get, 50 people or 50 orders or whatever, we could do a run for it and something like that. That'd be kind of cool. So let's get those helmet stickers rolling in. Your continued thoughts, Tech basketball. Washington wins big. Really big? Wow. Put that money out there. I hope you bet it, because if you're taking Washington money line, you can win big tonight. Not even taking the points, just taking Washington straight up. Knock yourself out. I would do kind of a middle. I would take Michigan money line. I'd take Washington points. I'd look for about a 3-point game on this thing and see if I could get that middle. That's just me. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. Washington defense is good. Is it? Is it really good? How much they give up to Oregon? The block M or block W will win tonight. Either way, the same shape, just spin the logo. Well, I mean, Michigan, doesn't have an M on their helmet. Washington's W is still too small compared to the 80s and 90s when Tech played them there in the 1980s. And I've always loved their classic gold helmet with a purple W, but it's too small. Michigan by a TD says, David Washington just fired Ron Rivera, but didn't know they could play college teams too. Yeah, that's the advantage they have. Ron Rivera, what a fraud as a head coach. Great guy. Tough guy. Cancer survivor. We love him as a guy. What a fraud as a head coach. Basically had 1.5 good years. Parlayed it into a decade as a head coach. Touchdown, Michigan. Are we already? Oh, yeah, we're underway. Are we underway? We're underway. We're underway. We're underway. Sorry, you just got to hook me up. I didn't have the score thing in front of me. I forgot it was going to start this early. Watch Washington. Silent killer. See, I'd take, if I was doing anything, and now we have, and you could even get better number now on Washington points if you can do in-game. So Michigan money line and then Washington in-game, take the points. My gosh, if you could get 6.5 or 7.5 in that and then middle it, woo, college football, one of the greatest in-game opportunities, pretty much within 3 or 4 possessions either way. How this flow is going to go. It takes a little while to catch up. I know a lot of you don't have the opportunity to be involved in that. More excited for the NCAA college football video game preview than I am for real game. Yeah. So basketball thoughts. If I'm wrong, right, I get it. I can understand why some of you would disagree. I truly do on the Pop Isaacs deal, but I don't think I'm wrong on this one. We'll see. It'll play out. The team as a team, that's a team that can win some games. That was a good team Saturday night. I thought they shot an okay amount of threes. I'm going to bang this drum all year. They're better when they don't shoot threes. I think they're better downhill. I think they're better than when they attack and get high percentage shots. But it's hard to argue when you're hitting step back threes with a guy in your face. When you bring Williams off the corner baseline run and he knocks one down. All right, there you go, Grant. Tell them to shoot the threes. Keep shooting the threes, but don't. I think you're going to be better around that 15 to 17 attempt mark. Anything above that, I think you're giving the opposing team too many run-out opportunities for you. The defense is interesting right now with this team. That they're closing out on shooters pretty good. By the way, one more reason why you need to not shoot too many threes. Look how good you shoot free throws. You don't shoot free throws if you're shooting a lot of threes. You shoot free throws by driving and getting there. You make more free throws than the other team attempts, you win, said Bob Knight. 3-point shot with 20 seconds left, shot clock has worn out some. Yeah, I agree with that. You don't sit players on allegations, or the allegations control your roster. You guys, what is it? Omar Bradley? World War II? The threes will open up with more downhill attacks. I agree. Again, punch zone. If teams want to flip into zone, it's kind of been the thing right now. The quasi thing the last few games is, hey, let's flip into a zone on attack and see if that stuns them. You attack a zone. You punch a zone. You penetrate a zone, and the zone does this because it's a zone. And then when the zone does that, you kick it out, and then you shoot a three or a long two. It's not hard. Zone punch. That was actually a call back in the day. That was, well, anyways. Which is really weird because if you're a coach and you're trying to mesh and you're trying to do that, it seems like really hard. James Dickey dislocated his middle finger doing that one time. We'll probably do more NFL tomorrow. I am intrigued. I truly am intrigued by this Cowboys Green Bay matchup. Green Bay is not the team they were a month ago. Jordan Love is not the quarterback he was a month ago. I'll give anybody a $50 if you can tell me who coached Jordan Love in college. He's hot again. He's hot again as a coach. If you're playing the 90s Pistons, the zone punches back. You didn't get a chance to go in on a zone against the Pistons back. And the Motor City Madmen. Yeah, Matt Wells. Legendary Matt Wells got his coach, got his quarterback, who got him a coaching job at Texas Tech, now rolling with the Packers. Legendary K-State OC. And you know what? I think he'll probably do well there. He is, to me, and we talk about this all the time here, I think he's an OC. I think he's a great coordinator who's not a great head coach, who's not a great overall everything, that he sees football. And it's kind of interesting because that's one of the things that a guy told me when Tech was looking at him to hire. He's like, man, dude's got a great football mind. He's really sharp. Don't know what he'll be like as a head coach. Quote right there. Don't know what he'll be like as a head coach. Great football mind, really sharp. To me, you just described about 90% of the great coordinators in college and pro football. Not everybody's cut out to be a head coach. And a lot of head coaches are crappy coordinators, would be crappy coordinators. I know that sounds weird. The greatest coach in the NFL, who's about to get fired by the Patriots, wasn't a great coordinator. He was a great position coach. Was Bill Belichick. He wasn't so much a great coordinator, honestly, when people talk about it. Wells had a good scheme at Utah before he took over Utah State as their head coach. Had a good scheme. I think he's a good coach. No, I know he's a good coach. Matt Wells is a good coach. And he's probably one of those guys who's a great coordinator. And I think Kansas State will probably benefit from that. Norv Turner, great coach. Yeah. Who was the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys in their early 90s Super Bowl runs? Dave Wannstedt. Had it work out in the NFL and otherwise. Didn't. I'm choking on dust in my office right now. Wade Phillips, another great example at the NFL level. Absolutely nails as a coordinator and absolutely average as a head coach. Great head coach, but broad brush, set stone. Great coordinators are micromanagers, small brush. Oh, yeah, okay. That's David. Leave it to him to like paint a picture there for me. Yeah, Dave Campo, another one. And there's nothing wrong because you know what? Who we're going to talk about in 20 years? Cliff Kingsbury, great coordinator, great offensive mind, one of the best to ever call plays, one of the best to ever articulate offensive scheme philosophy otherwise. And that's who he will be. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we're going green, white, checkered. I think we got started a little late, Damon, so we're okay on that. All right, last chance. Fire away your thoughts, your comments. I will ask you guys who are on right now, please, everybody share this in some form or fashion, whether it's on Twitter, on Facebook, or otherwise, whether it's off theraiderland.com directly that you can share it with your friends. Please invite people in. Help us grow Raiderland. We do great things for our sponsors because you guys do great things for them. We do great things for Arctic Air, the Arctic Air Studios. We do great things for Boot City. We do great things for Premier Sportsplex, for United Supermarkets, who do great things for West Texas. But we can only do that if you guys help me out. And the best thing you can do is to share it, grow it, and then even tag our sponsors if you know how to do that, and tell them thanks for being a part of Raiderland. And if you happen to be watching and you want to be a part of Raiderland and you own a business, get a hold of me at Ryan Hyatt Media on Twitter. Send me a direct message. We'll make it happen. All right. We got to share down. Let's go to the studio page first. In the stream. Do we want to end the stream? Yeah. Kind of disappointed you guys didn't say anything about my nifty shirt, man. It's pretty good. A little breezy outside this evening. No, it's a lot breezy outside this evening. In the stream, yes. In the stream, yes.